There's something else that occurred to me I wanted to share with you. A couple of things. One, why is there a pair of pliers here? Well, I use these because some of these tubes of paint, some of the caps are stuck. So I use a pair of pliers to open them because it'll hurt my hand otherwise. Sometimes the paint dries so much that I have to twist the cap off, and that's why I have those. Second, I didn't talk much about the gel medium, but the gel medium really helps to move the paint around acrylic. Because acrylic, in a very short time, especially when I'm using thin layers of paint, which I tend to use, the acrylic really dries. Comes to a point where what you're used to suddenly stops, and then it becomes really difficult to move it around. And this stuff really helps to keep it going. So I have this. What is this? Oh no, this is white paint. That's not gel. My apology. This is gel. These two were gels. I was using this one yesterday. This one in here. And about brushes. I have a reservoir of brushes here. So what I did yesterday was I picked a brush out and I went over to the canvas, and there's no paint on this. This is all just a demonstration. I went to the canvas and then I went to an area. Well, I'll go here, the clouds, and I started pretending I was painting. Let me get the tip softer. I started to pretend I was painting like that. And I was like, oh, that feels pretty good. Started mimicking what I would have to do. Just mimicking painting itself. And I was like, that feels good. I like that. I'm going to use this one. That's how I chose the brush. You know, I could have chosen any of the brushes. Say it's this one. This is for a different time and place compared to this brush. But maybe I'm at a point, or maybe I would be at a point where I would need this brush. So I would try it, and I would go over here, because this is a broader area. This is a broader brush. So the area is bigger, the brush is bigger. It's more detail, the brush is smaller. So say I wanted to do this area. I would just pretend to paint on it. And go, huh. And then I would be able to see, pre-visualize the extent that the footprint the brush would make. Also, it's a feeling too. It's like, do I like how it feels? Does this feel right for this paint and this painting and this day? Does this feel right? Does it feel right for being in here? Maybe. I don't know. I won't rule it out. Doesn't feel too bad. It's about a feeling. Here it's a big area, so I may use this brush here. Maybe. But I'll put this back because I'm not at that point yet. I'm going to talk about this brush. Now this brush, I had to use this because on the clouds, the small brush just wasn't, the smaller one here wasn't giving me the power after a point. This is more of a detail brush, and I was going to the detail right away. And I was also doing it because it was small. I was just starting. So I was tentative, and I was using a small little brush. And I did this for quite a long time, actually. I did this for hours. And I was like, I need to move some paint around here, especially in here. So I got out this one because the bristles are harder. The the bristles are much harder and coarser. So this is going to really push the paint around, whereas this one, the bristles are softer. And they give a lot. This, the bristles resist giving, and they're much stronger, and they can really move dry paint around or drying paint around and blend it in bigger ways. So to create these clouds, I needed to use both of these brushes together as a team. So both of these brushes handled all this area. Both of these tools did this. And so when choosing brushes, you're often choosing a team and not just one. And you use these together. And both of these touched this palette yesterday. So all this mess I made is because I used these two brushes doing this. And I have all these yet I could have used, but I'm not going to use all of these, obviously. But some of them I may use yet, like these bigger ones. And there's also different tips too. Some tips are flat, some are round. That's going to all come into play in this kind of stuff. In this dead grass field area where there's straw. And then in this, I'm going to need much smaller, probably rounder brushes for this pattern. Anyway, that's my brush story. See you next video.